Hey guys, so in this video today, I'm going to be showing you how to disassemble and replace the spark plugs and ignition coils in a B46/B48 BMW. So without further ado, let's get in the video. So first things first, what you're going to want to do is make sure that your oil temps or your engine temp is nice and cool, and you could do that by simply pressing the ignition button. Yep, okay, so now that we know that everything's all nice and cool, we can pop the hood and let's take a look at what we got going on in here. Okay, so don't mind the mess. You know, we could pop off this cover here. You know, there's just some grommets holding it in place, nothing too crazy. There's a grommet there, and there. So 4 grommets holding this this beauty cover in place. Well, you can see here the way the engine is designed that you can easily access the first 3 ignition coils. The reason we have to disassemble some of this in here is because the 4th ignition coil and spark plug are actually hidden and tucked away in there. So in order to get complete access, what we're going to do is remove this box right here. That's the box to your DME. Okay, so first things first, give me a second here. There's gonna be these 4 tiny bolts. These ones right here, and then corresponding on that side, you're gonna wanna get your 10 mil and just twist those 90 degrees loose, and we'll loosen them 90 degrees. And what that's gonna allow you to do is it's gonna allow you to take off these covers. Let's start by, okay, so there's the driver's side off. Now let's move on to the other side. You know, these kind of things are, always try to be careful with these plastic pieces because you just never know when they're gonna give on you. You know. Next, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to pull this little piece back here, and there's this wire here running along this whole rubber trim. What you're gonna want to do is actually get the wire. Let me set you guys down for a second. Hopefully you guys don't mind. What you're gonna want to do is get the wire out of this little rubber piece that's holding it in. We're gonna have to remove this whole rubber piece, so we need to get that wire out of there. Once you have the wire removed, then we can go ahead and pull off this rubber piece. And again, you want to be very mindful of how much strength you're using to pull this off. You want to be trying to be as careful as you can. So we got the rubber piece, the rubber trim removed. Let's just throw that there. Next, what we're gonna need to do is actually remove this metal brace. We're gonna remove this bolt and the corresponding bolt on the other side, and then right there in those 2 little holes, there's 2 more bolts in there. So we're gonna loosen all 4 of those bolts up, and then we'll see where to go from here. Okay guys, so next, to actually remove this bolt, you can see it's a special kind of bolt there. It's actually a E20 Torx, or a female Torx. Now that we got those off, let's see here. We've got those 2 bolts up here. So in order to expose this, you know, you could get a little flathead, something nice and small, and just pop that up. And we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. And that one almost got lost. All right, so now that we have that exposed, you can see there's 2 bolts up there. So you're gonna wanna, again, I think this is a 16 right here. Let me set you guys down. Okay, no, it doesn't look like there's another bolt here. Looks like all we need to do is just remove this metal bracket or this brace. So let's just set that down. Next, what we're gonna have to do is actually let's see here. Let me just take a quick peek, a quick gander. Okay, so we're gonna have to remove these 3 bolts on this side to remove this piece. Let me go check out the other side. Yeah, so this is why you remove the box for the DME, because there's a bolt right there holding it in. So you've got the 3 same bolts, and then you've got this 4th on the driver's side. Alrighty, and I'm back. These videos are gonna, these bolts are your favorite, the 10mm bolt. Okay, so let's undo these right here. These are not required to torque down to spec, if I'm not mistaken, so you won't have to worry too much about these ones. So we've got all these screws removed. I think there's like, okay, and then wow, what is that? A screw of some sort holding this into place. Okay, we got that out of there finally. Took long enough. So off comes this whole plastic piece right here. Let's see if this will focus in. Yep, off comes this whole plastic piece right here. Just set that aside. So now that we have all that trim removed, and it was a lot of trim just to get to the 4th and final spark plug, we're gonna want to remove this heat insulation right here. Okay, and not too sure if you guys want to keep it removed. I tried doing some research on this. You know, I think it's somewhat of a fire retardant. I also think it's for some sound deadening, so you won't hear too much of the engine noise inside the actual, you know, seats of the car. But there you have it. That's what we were trying to get to right there, your 4th and final ignition coil and spark plug. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. So for these particular clips here, I'm not sure if there's another way to do it. I've never really been too good with clips, but you're gonna pretty much want to pop the clip open as so, you know, get your little flathead screwdriver and pop it up, and then you can next remove the actual clip. Okay, so we're just gonna real quickly, you know, I don't think you can really put the plugs in the wrong places. They're all relatively self-observant. You can observe them yourself and kind of figure out that, hey, well, this is the place it needs to go, you know. So with that being said, we're just gonna remove all the clips and the wires. Next, looks like a small E-Torx right there to remove the actual ignition coil. So So let's see. Is that the right one? Yes, it is. It looks like it's an E8. Okay. Okay. So let's remove these little screws here. Again, this is an E8 E-Torx or a female Torx. So let's just continue right along here. Let's get this last one finished. Again, I'm not too sure if the spark plugs have ever been changed out in this car, so I'm kind of curious to see what the spark plugs look like. And you're gonna need a special thin wall long socket to get those spark plugs out. So let's pull that out, and that's your ignition coil. Okay, I'm back, and again, you're gonna need a special thin wall socket here, spark plug socket, 14 millimeter, to get these bad boys out and get the new ones in. Okay, you need to get your torque wrench close to 25 Newton meters. And you can actually torque this to spec. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, now that everything is all said and done, let's remove that. Looks good. Now we can get our new ignition coil. This is the ignition coil that I purchased for the vehicle. It's from Dinan Motorsports or Dinan Motorsports. So when you're inserting these, you're just gonna wanna pop them back into place. Okay, let's pop them back into place, and they should just pop in there. Okay, so don't believe these actually need to be torqued down to spec. Let's just get them nice and snug. Nice and snug, so we don't have to worry about them coming loose later on. Now that that's in, we can get our clip, pop it back in there, test to make sure that thing ain't coming loose. Everything feels nice and secure in there. I'm gonna get started on the other ones. I'm gonna set you guys down, but that was the process right there, and you just rinse and repeat for the rest of them. So yep. Okay, so I just did some research, and just so I don't give you guys the wrong information, when you're putting on this metal brace, I'm gonna set you guys down for a second. When you're putting on this metal brace, it's supposed to be torqued at 54 Newton meters. So just keep that in mind. I don't think you guys really want to see the process of me torquing everything down, but yep, 54 Newton meters. For that bolt, there's a bolt over there, and that bolt right there. And this is the E20, and those are 16. Okay guys, so I got everything all finished up already. You know, the overall installation process and taking everything apart, I'd probably give it like a 5 out of 10. It wasn't bad at all, maybe a 4. You know, the only thing is it does take time. So again, if you're planning on doing this yourself, just plan ahead of time. make sure that you're a little free. You know, it took me a little bit longer because I'm making the video. But yeah, overall it wasn't bad. If you enjoyed the video, please give a thumbs up, leave a comment, criticize, you know, or give me some constructive criticism of how I can make the videos better in the future. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and you guys have yourself a great day.